There is a ton of card content out there right now, both good and bad. So each week, I'm going to siphon through it and pick the best three, what I think are the top 3 card content clips of the week, and give some hobby love.
I was just gonna get drunk and watch the Grinch, so I'll be there.
And the first one is baseball card collector, dealer, investor. In that order, Chris. Been a dealer, a card dealer since the early 2010s. I'm gonna say like in 2012 or something. And eventually became full-time working from home. And and he has just a lot of good knowledge. I think he's a great storyteller. Some of his best videos are when he tells stories. This video came out 1 day ago. However, by the time you're seeing this, it'll have been 5 or 6 days. It already has 10,000 views, and I'm sure that will at least double or triple by the time this video releases. No further ado, let's let him take over.
So by the time I leave his house, it's maybe like 3 o'clock, and by then the snow had just created this icy, wintry, undrivable situation. I think I got about a mile away from his house, and I was driving like 10 miles an hour on a 4-lane road, and it was still not safe. Like I was sliding all over the place. And I quickly realized there was no way I was going to get out of Chicago that day. So I pulled over to the side, and I figured out where the nearest hotel was, and it was something like 2 miles away. And it took me 45 minutes to drive the 2 miles to the nearest hotel just because of the awful driving conditions, and there were actually a bunch of accidents along the way. Keep in mind the car is completely full, and cards are very heavy, so it's riding very low, which just sort of adds to the difficulty of driving on icy roads. But I make up to the hotel, I pull up and park, and I can't tell you how full the car was. Like the car was full in all directions. There was cards under my feet. There was cards crammed in every little corner. And I couldn't just leave them in the car. So I just, I went in, I booked a room, and I came out to start loading all the cards up to the room, which was going to, be quite the project for one person. It took, I don't know, something like 20 trips. But the first time I opened the door to the back seat, cards just fell out onto the snow because they had just been shoved in so much. Luckily, the cards that fell into the snow were some of the cheaper junk wax stuff that didn't have much value. This is the actual hotel I stayed at a day or two after the storm, so the conditions don't look so bad here, but yeah, it was much worse when I arrived. And here's where my car was parked in the parking lot, and yeah, you can see I still had my Jedi braid back then in the shadow.
Chris has told many good stories over the years of several different collection buying opportunities and things he went through to buy collections, and this one did not disappoint. It's over a $60,000 deal with just many twists and turns. I'll leave the link in the comments. Find his takes, some of the truest, and I appreciate his content a lot.
I will give you 3 of them, plus a case of ball cards. An entire sealed case.
You bums forgot how to kill people? Doesn't your work mean anything to you anymore? Have you no sense of pride in what you do? No sense of duty? No sense of destiny? I'm looking for generals. What do I got? Foot soldiers.
The second highlight of the week, well, it goes into the Sports Card Radio, and whether you like them or not, they do a very good job with their research and bringing us, the people, good information, whether sensationalized or not. They have 28,000 subscribers. I can see that just continuing to grow. I'm actually surprised it's not more, but maybe that's just because of their style and controversy. But when it comes to editing and research, there is no better in the hobby. This particular video has 23,000 views. It came out 13 days ago. Watch the beginning, and then I want to fast forward to a little bit later. So we'll watch a clip from the beginning, and then just a little bit later in the video.
Talk shit about card care. I was watching some of these. I did watch a few of these videos. Just, they're so concerned about cards, but these are the type of dudes that binge eat McDonald's and Taco Bell all day, every day. So it's almost like...
Some days I just don't get the hobby positivity crowd. I really don't. You think if you cared about the hobby as much as these dorks claim they do, you'd feel some sort of shame or guilt surrounding their hyping and pumping of modern quarterbacks. The QBs these card influencer guys have hyped haven't even beaten Brittany Mahomes in a game, let alone Patrick.
Stay away from those haters and choose Rich.
Look, you had several quarterbacks traded that were pumped up huge last year in the sports card world. Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields. Yep. But let's take it back even a year prior when you guys couldn't get enough of Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance. Yep. Here is hobby hero Roth Cards in February 2023, hyping up Trey Lance.
I just drove 4 hours to Miami to pick up one of Trey Lance's biggest national treasure cards. NT Swoosh, 2 of 2, SGC 9 with a 10 auto grade. This is a massive card. Let me know in the comments if you believe in Trey Lance for next year.
Would anybody drive 4 hours for a Trey Lance card today? Here is Roth Cards again a few months later in May of 2023, hyping up Sam Howell.
My goodness, you see the title, and it is true. I just made a play on his biggest card. This is his best card on the market.
This is Sam Howell, and so I think the sports card video makes a very good point, is that these influencers really hype up the hype guys. Whatever is the right now in NFL quarterbacks, those top few, or if you're a starting NFL quarterback and young, your cards are getting hyped, such as Trey Lance and Sam Howell. And the thing with these type of influencers is they get rid of the card immediately. This is not an investment. This is not something going into a personal collection. He's hyping up. He's driving 4 hours to get the Trey Lance card because he knows he can sell it to somebody else or move it or involve it in a trade. The point is to keep moving on from that card. So it's not like he got stuck holding the bag on any of these cards. They don't. It's highly unlikely. Even if they take a slight loss, they're moving through this stuff. That's how it is. When they have a card, don't expect them to have that card. Depending how big they are, this guy, don't expect to have the card in the next couple of days, next week. And they're getting it, and they're getting rid of it. So they're not the ones stuck holding the big loss on this Trey Lance. I want to fast forward just a bit because I think, let's see where we're at here.
The thing that annoys me is when people want to get on a soapbox and wax poetic about their choice and want to rub it all over everybody else. People, like, save your daddy issues for somebody else. You know what I mean? So, like,
let the manhunt begin. Ethan Elvis is dealing with a guy who has robbed his Lancaster, Kentucky sports card shop not once, not twice, but 3 different times, guys.
So Sports Card Radio is showing some theft that went down. I don't want to rewind or fast forward, but again, where else are you going to get this kind of content? No other channel is bringing... Well, we have a slight ad, but I'll just talk through it. No other channel is bringing us this kind of content.
Here's another time where he's a little bit more brazen. He slipped some cards into his pocket while Ethan turned his back to him.
It's just good for us to be aware.
Prison football. Prison football, yeah. Front back. Front back. Oh.
Sleight of hand stuff.
Not to be outdone, here's a third little slide into the pocket.
Last one we'll watch.
Cards.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Yeah, everything in a top loader, unless it's marked, is $3. Oh.
Again, Sports Card Radio has the biggest platform and no other channels are covering stuff like this. And where do you get things like this? Now, luckily, I think Sports Card Radio has such a following, they're sent certain things, but there's no way they're sent to everything. So a big shout out to how they get all their information.
Maybe I need... Stop! Yeah! But I never go to store.
The last piece of content I have for you this week comes from Simon466 Cards, and he just is one subscriber away from hitting 400. I joined and subscribed. This video has 523 views and was made 2 days ago. By the time you're seeing it, if this is released, it'll probably been about 5 or 6 days out. I put together a pretty solid video. We're gonna watch about, a minute or two. We're at the 4:45 mark, and I'll leave the link in the comments below if you want to check out the rest of his video and help a smaller channel. This video is junk wax era versus the junk slab era. And I like his breakdown. He has the cost, and the cost and the focus. And he already talked about this prior. And in the collecting before, he says sets, teams, players, and unique card designs. And you're going to see now that, well, in his eyes and his research, that's changed quite a bit.
It's set building. Like, you know, when I was growing up in the sports card hobby back in the 80s, it was all about set building. Yeah. But today, you don't see it as much.
Right? So Jeff is basically saying what I'm saying there. Like, set building used to be a thing. It is no longer a thing, and it's pretty obvious that it's no longer a thing, right? So if it's not about set collecting today in the junk slab era, what is it about? I think it's pretty obvious. It's about the money. It's about the card values. It's about making money. And if you have any doubt about it being all about the money, just look at the most popular YouTube channels and videos as proof. If you, I mean, literally there's a channel called Sports Card Investor, right? And even if you look at someone like Card Collector 2, a lot of his content is about buying and reselling and making deals, right? And what is that about? It's not about collecting. It's about making money. And again, these are not shots at either Card Collector 2 Ryan or Jeff and Sports Card Investor. Like, that's just the nature of the game today, the hobby today, right? It is what it is. I'm not casting dispersions on it. It's just, I'm just being honest and explicit about what people care about today. And it's very different than what people cared about in the junk wax era. And so that will have an impact. And let's talk this through.
So I'll pause it there. Let's see. He has a good breakdown. His question on top is that, or what he states is, the junk wax era created a generation of hobby advocates, such as me and maybe you. But the focus on profit makes it less likely that the junk slab era will do the same. I think that's good insight. And so if you want to check out the rest of this video, again, the link will be in the comments below. He's a smaller channel, Simon466 Cards, just at 399 subscribers. Go give him a like, subscribe. Big shout out to Troy, Trike415 Sports Cards. He made the first video's top 3 content, and well, he commented on the video, so thanks for watching, and keep making great content. The last thing I want to do before we say goodbye for the week is, this is the opposite of good content in my opinion. Shy City was lucky enough to get a big leagues card pull, and now I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's nice that influencers or the hobby is getting recognized for some of their stuff, but Topps is chosen oddly, and it just cringe. I mean, it's more cringe than cool. And these videos especially, I'm chasing my own card, chasing my Topps Big League card. It's only got 2.5 thousand views here. You see what that is compared to other things. And here's Jab's family, who has a huge following. He's been doing cards for a long time. I was watching his channel. I've stopped, but prior to the big boom, he was producing YouTube content prior to the big boom of everyone starting to put out content. But this is it's just, can I find my own card? Here's the search for the big league. How much of this stuff was given to him to promote? Like, did he pay for this stuff, or did Topps give it to him? Because this is just free promotion. His videos do a little bit better at 16,000 views. In my opinion, I find this cringe. Comment below, what do you think? Thanks for watching, and have a great day. At professorsportscards@gmail.com. Whether you want to submit your work or a video that you saw was just excellent in the sports card content space, and you want to nominate it to win Content of the Week, send me an email with the link at professorsportscards@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, a.k.a. Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.